Yo, are you Paul?
Yeah, hey, how's it
Paul,
going, man?
how's it going?
Hey, pleasure to meet you.
What is this?
Yeah, I know. It's a
Jumping Jesus on a pogo stick.
It's a bit
Could this be more amazing?
weird and random, but hey.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.
If that's anything like Mad Dog, it's probably that was a lot we just put on. Okay,
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. Yeah.
So this one I found where I get a lot of chili sauce because this one here came from Goodies. I don't know if you know that store. It's like kind of like they sell
In Hong Kong?
Yeah, in Hong
Okay.
Kong. It's kind of like a Chinese kind of dried fish, I
Okay.
guess, kind of shop. And they got all kinds of like noodles and this and that in there. But yeah, one day I walked by and I saw that they had some hot sauces.
So this thing here. Okay, so first of all, you've got like most hot sauces, they come into glass jars. Only this one's different. It's like a tube, like a plastic tube. What you normally find, like
Toothpaste.
exfoliant or toothpaste. Yeah,
Sunscreen.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It looks a little bit dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna find out.
if I start sounding snotty in coffee,
Yeah. It's not the
it's because of
COVID.
that. It's because things are happening. Shit's going down.
All right. Good luck. Cheers. Okay. Yeah. It initially has a taste of the bomb.
Okay.
A little tiny. I don't know what that.
It's a caramel.
It's definitely not caramel.
Okay.
For me,
Sorry.
maybe it is for you. That might be the wing. The wing's like a honey wing.
It's okay.
But it's not
It's
bad.
not too bad actually.
No. I was a little bit worried when I first had that flavor pop in my mouth. I was like, oh no.
The bomb is just the gross. Good. Yummy.
Yeah.
Okay. So next photo.
That was easy.
I'm just gonna talk through my snot. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine, man.
Okay. So
more-
Jimmy's house.
Yeah, Jimmy's house. So,
Jimmy who? Okay. So in the photograph, wait a second. In the photograph, it looks like it could have been done in Ontario. It's that kind of cold. You're outside. A tree is no leaves on it. Behind that tree is like a red brick house. There's a kind of a very phallic-looking but steeple-capped. I don't know. Maybe that's a. I don't know what that must be. A library of some sort.
Right.
Addition onto the house.
Yep.
You're making what looks like a selfie. I guess you're holding your phone and photographing yourself.
Yes.
And so there's you with these beautiful, slightly plum, let's say plum aviator glasses. You're not wearing a hat, but
No.
it looks like it's pretty cool outside.
It is. It was
Okay.
chilly. Yeah.
Okay, so do tell.
So last year in the middle of COVID, I was kind of, I don't know, very lucky to have traveled all around the world, which is kind of freaky. I was tutoring some kids here, and in February of last year, the kids that I was tutoring were over in Japan. And then when COVID all kicked off, the family was like, well, we're not going to go back to Hong Kong anytime soon. Do you mind coming over to Japan to help the kids with their studies? So I was like, okay, well, I can take some time off the studio and do this, because I knew they had to prepare for some interviews for schools in Oxford and all that kind of stuff. And I knew it was an important time for them. So, yeah, I hopped over to Niseko for 4 weeks or something like that. And by that time, it was, pushing into March, and everything was really crazy here. And the parents were like, well, we're definitely not going to go back to Hong Kong. We're going to go over to London if you want to come over there next. And I was like, oh,
I was like, sure.
sure, I'll go to London.
I love these Hong Kong stories. They're just so
Yeah,
bonkers.
it was really, I mean, seriously, I was so grateful for the the whole trip, because it was fantastic. Like, I mean, Niseko is beautiful. I don't know if you've been, but it's like a ski resort area in Hokkaido.
Wow.
But yeah, when we got over to London, we stayed in Notting Hill.
Okay.
It's a very nice area and everything like that. And while I was there, the dad was telling me, he was like, yeah, this is a really cool neighborhood. I used to live here. There's all kind of people that live around here. There's like this person, that person, blah, 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 and Jimmy Page.
Dropping names. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jimmy
yeah.
Page,
And I
all
was
right.
like, what? Jimmy Page lives in this neighborhood? He was like, yeah, it's It's like right around the corner, and I was like, "Oh my god, I got to go see Jimmy Page's place."
Right.
For anyone that doesn't know, Jimmy Page is Jenny Page's brother.
Jenny Page being on the podcast a few weeks ago.
He was the guitarist in Led Zeppelin, so I'm a massive John Bonham fan. So I was like, okay, I have to go see this place. So
John Bonham, the rapper.
yeah, John Bonham the rapper,
Okay.
or the drummer. From,
Right. I'm just joking. Just assume I'm an idiot. Yes.
So yeah, and it was super cool. I mean, it was a little bit surreal. I was like, okay, wow, this is where he lives, and blah blah blah. And I was a massive fan.
And he's looking out the window going, "Oh,
Yeah, who's this big hairy guy?" So I
fan.
tried to see if he was home for jam, but he wasn't in. But the funniest thing is, and I got another picture. I was either going to give you this one or the other one. The other one shows this one and the neighboring house, and the neighboring house is Robbie Williams' place.
Oh.
And I guess they don't get along.
Okay.
Because I think it was Jimmy Page or Robbie Williams. I think it was Robbie Williams wanted to do some renovations.
Right.
And do some landscaping. But
Sure.
it was going to screw over bits of Jimmy Page's place, plus all the noise, yada, yada, yada. So they got a pretty big feud. I think there were some lawyers involved and all that kind of stuff. But to get back at Jimmy Page, Robbie Williams would take these big speakers and point them towards Jimmy Page's place and just blast Black Sabbath songs.
That's
In
hilarious.
the morning, afternoon, all that kind of
What?
stuff. And it was like, what is this? So, yeah, that was last year. And that's
Craziness.
Jimmy
So-
Page's place.
Okay, so after England, where did you go?
After that, we went to New York. So we went and we stayed in Hell's Kitchen for a while, and but that was crazy because we landed basically in New York the day that was declared a state of emergency.
Right.
And it was like, shit, what do we do here? And we ended up staying there. We were supposed to stay for longer. I think we lasted about 2 weeks there.
Wow.
And then
So
like,
tutoring, what level? How old?
they were
High school?
No. They were elementary school.
Okay.
So at the time, little dude was 8 years old, and
Wow.
the girl was 6.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, well, I mean, I
And
hadn't
then-
been in a classroom in like 12 years.
And
so
you're
it was
like, I'm with the band, but the band is like,
yeah. Oh man, this whole trip was like a rock star
Yeah.
episode because it was flying some really nice flights
Amazing.
and everything and all that kind of stuff, and we even got to fly in a private jet at one point to get it in New York because
Sure.
when we tried to get it in New York we couldn't. It was
Yeah.
just like all the flights were like no, and it was like
Wow.
okay, but we can go to Chicago. And it was probably the most rock star moment in my life. And I've
Yeah.
said this to the dad like lots of times. I'm like, dude, oh my God. That was like one of the best moments of my life. Just
Yeah.
getting on a private jet. And like, it was only maybe an hour and a half flight
Yeah.
to Chicago. But it was just
Still.
like this tiny little G4 kind of thing. We flew over to Chicago. We got in O'Hare, and O'Hare was nuts.
Yeah.
It was just like people just trying to get
Yeah.
out.
yeah.
And scooted around and then took a flight from Chicago to here. But it was so intense too because like you got people in hazmat suits everywhere. You got
Wow.
just everyone masked up and we were really,
Amazing.
really clean and everything like that. Like loads of the mom was this beautiful lady who had everything like you can imagine, any kind of sanitizer, any
Sure,
kind of spray,
sure.
any kind of mask, everything all sorted. And,
Please tell me you're walking around with drumsticks in your hand.
I should have. But one of the funniest moments was at one point the dad has like a driving company or a car rental company that he usually uses when he goes over to England.
Yeah.
And when they saw me the first time, they were chatting and everything like that, and they were like, "So you're security on this?"
Yeah.
And it was funny because I don't look the part of a teacher.
No,
I don't look
not really, not quite.
But actually, you missed me in my my Mohawk phase.
Okay.
I had a Mohawk at one
Okay.
time because I used to work at Singapore International, and Singaporeans are pretty straight-laced
Straight,
people,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the nicest way to say it. but through that school, I used to have long hair like this,
Right, right.
and they wanted me to shave my head bald one year for
Okay.
Operation Santa Claus.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm not shaving my head bald, but I'll do a mohawk. I was just joking.
And they're like,
And
okay.
they were like, well, what? No, they had no idea what a mohawk
No.
was. So they're like, well, what's a mohawk? And I showed them. They're like, sure, if you can raise money with it.
That's
sure.
awesome.
And so they're like, how much to shave that? And I was just joking. I was like, $75,000.
Okay.
And but on the same hand, there was a bunch of other things. Like at 10,000, we would spray a bunch of teachers in the foyer.
Yeah.
At 20,000, we'd pie them in the face. At 40,000, we'd tape a bunch in the wall. And
Okay,
all that kind of
okay,
stuff.
okay.
At 75,000, I would shave my head in front of the whole school.
Okay.
So,
you
thinking
hit
that
it?
this will never ever happen.
Okay.
And in the end, they raised 123,000.
Nice.
I think, and I was like, "Oh,
Suck
no,
on that,
I
bitch."
cannot get rid of this now." And it even gets weirder because he's still in town. He goes by
Why are you pointing to your crotch?
yeah. Not that weird.
Okay,
But Mike Scissorhands, he goes by.
Okay.
He's a guy that basically cuts hands like Edward Scissorhands.
Okay,
So he
yeah.
has
Cuts
like
hair?
Yeah.
Right.
And he has like, I don't know, 4 or 8 pairs of scissors on
Okay.
his hands, and he chops hair that way.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of up it and give the kids something to watch.
Okay.
So why not get that guy to do it?
Yeah.
And what I didn't know is on the day that, the whole school's in the gymnasium waiting for this to happen, I go back behind the curtain, and he's there, and he's like, "Oh, hi, this is my makeup artist,"
Uh-huh.
which I'm like, why do I need makeup? And he was like, "Why don't you have a seat? Because we're going to tease your hair out first, so you'll go out."
So it's really big.
So
right,
I got
right.
this massive like afro. I'm like, okay, let's roll with it. I don't care. We got like 15 minutes.
Sure.
Because, Singaporeans got to be on time.
Right,
We
right,
got to
right.
get this done. So, yeah, they tease up my hair, and the makeup artist basically makes me look like the ultimate warrior. Like, puts all this crazy makeup thing.
wow.
It was all for him to get a good video
Sure, of
of like
course.
this crazy scene. So, yeah, and then 3, 2, 1 goes, and he has this super loud rock music that he starts playing over
Yeah.
the speakers, which has never been played in the school before.
Okay.
And I walk in, and I'm like looking crazy.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
like my hair's all out. I got makeup all over my face, and it's a mix of emotions from the whole school. Because in the front you got your kindergarten kids, and all
Yeah.
the way in the back you would have the grade 6s, and it was like a wave of emotion going from the front where kids were bawling their eyes out because I had no idea what's going on. Teachers freaking out, trying to get them going. It's just Mr. MacLean. It's just Mr. MacLean. All the way to the back where, the middle part was, they were confused. They didn't know what was
of
going
course.
on, but they could hold their tears in. And the back, the grade 6s were just losing their mind. They're like,
Amazing.
this is crazy.
Amazing.
And then he goes nuts and, gets my hair all, kind of whatever, and just flops over to the side.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Thank you," and he walks off, and I'm like,
I don't want to comb over.
okay. And I just kind of like walk off stage, and like it was a mess. I had to go to my buddy Dave, who I was playing in the band with. I went over to his place afterwards, and I was like, "Dude, can you do anything?" And he just like, because it was teased out, it was all knotty.
Oh, okay.
So he just like grabbed it and just like chopped
Right,
away,
right,
and then I went to another guy and got it done properly. And I had that mohawk for like 5 years.
Okay,
Because I
wow.
would use it as an incentive in class where
Okay.
when it came time for a test, I would
Ah.
hey, if like 8 or 10 of you can get 100, I'll shave my mohawk again. Because whenever it kind of flopped over, all the kids would be
Okay.
like, "Bring back Mr. Chicken."
Right.
And I'd be like, "You want it back?" But it was
you're
good because
you're
I
a
was,
sweetheart.
it was fun. But I was good because I was playing in this 2-piece band that was doing touring and everything like that, and going around with a big beard and a big mohawk kind
Amazing.
of fit the part on stage, not necessarily in the class, but it worked.
Well, it worked. Okay, let's make it work one more step.
Okay.
Kaboosh.
Kaboosh.
So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.